Hello, everyone. This is David, Fairly Secret Music. It's been about um, probably 2 months since I showed any new stuff that I have picked up. I think it's since middle of February. So I'm going to go through a bunch of stuff really fast. I got a big stack here. I'm going to start with the weird stuff that is not metal first. The first one, I finally found Elvis Costello's Look Now CD, and this is actually pretty darn good. Not the best thing he's ever done, but definitely not the worst, you know. If you're an Elvis Costello fan, it's not too bad. This band called Trillium, they have the keyboardist from a band called Toy Matinee. The singer went on to be in Toto and for one album, and they're kind of weird 70s prog, kind of, you know, in that kind of Styx type prog kind of stuff. So yeah, I dig them. I think they're pretty decent. I had this as a kid too on vinyl, so this is one of the Rock Candy reissues. I finally got the Allman Brothers Reach for the Sky and Brothers of the Road, and it comes on this 2-disc set. So luckily there is 2 CDs. So, or no, it's all on 1 disc, sorry. All on 1 disc. But it has every song on both albums, so that is cool. That completes my Allman Brothers studio collection. I found Moon Kings by Adrian Vandenberg for $1. I passed on this. I found it for $8.95. I got it for my friend Rob. And then like a month or 2 later, I found it in a bin for $1, which I thought was super awesome. This was the one that I wanted. They have 2 studio albums and an acoustic one. Here is that band, Toy Matinee. I have the regular edition, the reprise edition. It does not work because it skips like crazy. I have to have a friend buff it. But I also have the DTS 5.1 surround sound. If you're not familiar with Toy Matinee has Patrick Leonardi or something like that. He is the keyboardist, but he is better known as being Madonna's producer in the 80s. It also has Kevin Gilbert, who was on the first Sheryl Crow Tuesday Night Music Club CD. I think that's what it's called. And then I believe she proceeded to screw them over. They wrote all the songs, and she kind of took them and ran. Unfortunately, Kevin died, but not before he did Kevin Gilbert's Thud. This is a 3-disc version. It has a lot of crazy stuff. Lots of... I think my wife's phone is getting messages, so... there's a song called Miss Broadway, which is all about her. This is the 3-disc version. It has demos, unreleased stuff, well worth the price of admission, and I think it was $40 plus some shipping and tax and stuff. So that's all the weird stuff for my people who watch that aren't into weird stuff. Now, here is where it gets good for all the metalheads. The guy, Matt, from Dive Bomb Records, bought a huge collection and was selling CDs for basically $6 a piece with, you know, like $4 to whatever dollars for shipping. The first one I got 4 CDs for $24 plus shipping, which was cool. So this is Yob, The Unreal Never Lived. Yep. Yob, The Great Secession. Yob. There we go. What is this one called? Our Raw Heart. Now it makes me kind of wish I would have stuck around to see them. I purchased Amenra. I love Voivod, and Yob was the last band. That was about a year and a half ago that I saw. I stuck around for like 2 songs or so, which is a good half an hour probably. But I wasn't really a fan of Yob. I am really digging this one. I haven't really gotten into the other ones. The first order I did with Matt, so those were the 3 I did with a friend named Jay. He got a bunch of stuff. The first order I got Testament Demonic, but that's upstairs and I was too lazy to run upstairs. But I also got King Diamond Abigail 2, which is the final Abigail or King Diamond album that I need, except for the newest one that's coming out. So King Diamond Abigail 2. And then the last, well, they have one live thing. This is a band called Sub Rosa. This is called No Help for the Mighty Ones. I really like the album that came out after this. The newest album is pretty good, but not as good as their second studio album. So I like the fact that she says all members write their own parts. Have you ever looked at like a Rhapsody CD? It all says like music, melodies, bass parts, vocal melodies, and drum parts written by Alexi blah blah blah, or whatever his name is from Rhapsody. Yeah, or Luca Torelli, I think his name is. Yeah, I picked up Exodus Shovel-Headed Killing Machine for one reason and one reason only, and that's because Paul Bostaph plays on it. I love Paul Bostap's playing, especially Forbidden, Twisted into Form. I think he is great in Slayer. I think he was really awesome on the Testament Formation to Damnation album. This was an album that I knew he played on, but I'm not an Exodus fan. I never like their singers. This guy is barely tolerable to me. They just have never had a good singer. If Exodus had a singer like the guy from Forbidden, Russ and Forbidden, or Eric A.K. from Flotsam and Jetsam, I would love this band, but they don't. Let's see. 2 other things I got from Dive Bomb. This is Fly Machine. I know Metal Mickey showed this a little while ago. Dang it, where is... There we go. I'm using a different setup to hold the pictures, or hold the CDs up. Come Metamorphosis. This is basically the drummer and the bass player from Confessor. And this was supposed to be Confessor, but they decided to change the name after, they had to replace both guitarists and the singer. So this singer kind of sounds like the Confessor singer, but he has more of a Mordred or Faith No More kind of vibe to his vocals, which is kind of cool in the Mordred aspect, but not really cool in the Faith No More. Decided to finally get this. This was like one of, Matt said is like one of the final copies. God damn it, that fucking reflection. There we go. This is My Friend Lonely by Cyclone Temple. This doesn't have the original singer. I really wish it did. Building Errors in the Machine EP is on here, and that has yet a different singer, and I believe a few of those songs were on the demo that was on Home of the Free, Land of the Brave, or something like that. Another Cyclone Temple CD that had a bunch of demos and live stuff. So, My Friend Lonely. Another really great Dive Bomb release. The sound is fantastic. right before everything got shut down in Minnesota, I was able to get this and that Trillium CD. I got this the day it came out. I am still waiting for Marillion Script for a Jester's Tear, which I ordered directly from Fish, and the 3 CDs by Church of the Crimson Skull. No, Cosmic Skull. Church of the Cosmic Skull. Both of them were shipped from the UK. I believe I bought both of them before like May 29th. No. March 29th. Before March 29th. Who knows when they'll arrive. I'm not freaking out, really. Well, yes, I am kind of freaking out. I really want to hear that Marillion, and I want to watch the documentary, and I decided I was going to get it directly from Fish because I figured it would be here faster than if Amazon or eBay had it, and turns out that is not the case, and I've been waiting probably, what is it, the 25th or something like that today? I don't even know what the date is anymore. So I've, like, almost 4 weeks. This is Candlemas the Pendulum, and it has one fully finished song. I don't know why they did this. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other songs that aren't finished. They're just in demo form. They should have just finished all of them so they had a consistent sound. I think that's stupid, but the demos actually don't sound too bad. There's actually only 4 like full songs. There's 2 kind of instrumentally things on here. Let me just double check that. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 songs that have actual vocals. The title track is pretty damn good. These are the songs that were supposed to be on a second disc for their last album, because the last album was supposed to be a 2-disc set, and their company said, let's just make it a 1-disc set, and then we'll put out this EP. I don't know. Just quit fucking around. Liege Lord. If you guys don't know who Liege Lord are, they had, at this point... Sorry, I'm trying to get this so you guys can actually see stuff, so I might have to just go like this. There's a lot of reflections down here. So, Liege Lord, they used to have a singer who was like, wah! But at this point, they have a guy named Joe Cameo, who went on to play guitar in Overkill and sing in, what's that damn Canadian band name? Annihilator. I don't really like the Annihilator stuff, but I love his voice on this. And it just, if you like Judas Priest, you will love this album. Liege Lord, Master Control. This is a Bandcamp band called Tenegra, which is an awful, awful name. They got sued by an audio company called Negra, which is spelled Nagra. And so they were selling these things off for like $1 a piece. I know Black Star Vinyl Rob had bought a bunch of them. He said he would have actually sent me a copy for free, but I was like, nah, that's okay, you know. So I ended up paying like $8 because I thought, you know what, $1 is just kind of an insult. So I paid $8 for it and got the 1 CD. And it's kind of Dream Theater-ish, kind of metal, kind of proggy, but it's really good. But I don't think they had to change their name. I don't know how a company named Negra can sue a band called Tenegra. It's like, that's so dumb. If I were a judge, I would just laugh at him and go, get the fuck out of my courtroom. Lid, if you do not know who Lid are, it is Eric from, the singer from Trouble, and Danny Kavan from Anathema. This is kind of weird stoner rocky stuff. I actually haven't listened to it since I bought it, but I only paid $8 for it. So I finally got, since the last video, all the Merciful Fate that I needed. Merciful Fate, Into the Unknown. I'll just hold these damn things up. Into the Unknown, Return of the Vampire, Time, and what the hell is this one called? Dead Again. So these were all all four of them were a one auction thing. I believe they were $32 for all four. The guy had multiple auctions selling those four together, and those four were just so happened to be the last four Merciful Fate albums that I needed. Picked up Testament, First Strike, Still Deadly. That is right. I got into Testament sometime last year, and I know I had The Gathering, and then Darcy Six Strings, Nine Lives sent me a copy of Dark Roots of the Earth. I bought Formation of Damnation, and then I just went head first into everything. So I picked this up. I picked up this one, which I did not pull the sticker off of, which luckily Half Price Books, and if you guys have a Half Price Books wherever the hell you live, their stickers are really easy to pull off, which is nice. The original version of Live at the Fillmore. The nice thing with the, this originally came in a jewel case. They didn't remaster it. They didn't remix it. They just put it in Digipack casing, because apparently Digipacks are better, but that's bullshit because they get ripped and torn and damaged. They can be cooler for artwork, but if you're just going to do them kind of generically or whatever, then just make a fucking jewel case. Unless you're making your own CDs, like I'm planning to do a few of my own music as Digipacks, and that is the cheapest and easiest and kind of fun way to do it. But when big companies once had them in a jewel case and now they're going to a Digipack, I just kind of laugh because it's just like, it's just irritating. Because this is what fucking happens to Digipacks. I bought this for $1. Luckily, the CD is in pretty decent condition. It has one big scratch across it. You can kind of see, but it still plays. The back tray is almost decent. But look at this. Look at that. That's just awful. But for $1, I could not pass it up. Because I was going to pass it up. And the guy was like, you know what? I didn't realize that, those were all beat up like that. I'll just give you a deal on them. Just otherwise, I'm going to price them down. Because they were priced at $8.99. This was priced $8.99 with artwork like that and a huge scratch. And it's like, fuck that shit. But yeah, that was really cool. And this is a pretty decent album. I also picked up Testament, Dark Roots of Thrash, which is the not one, but what the hell's going on here? Oh, some kind of sticky stuff is on there. That's great. From a stupid sticker that Half Price Books put on it. This is the cool-ass 3-disc Digipack. Has the 2 CDs with the whole show and the DVD also. If you have heard this, please comment. Tell me how live this sounds, because this sounds like they're just lip-syncing to a studio recording. Everything sounds just so tight. It doesn't sound like it doesn't sound live. Not to me. Maybe I'm just weird, but I think it's bullshit. Found this for $2. Did not even actually have to pay for it because my buddy was like, oh, I'll just grab that for you because I have a coupon for 20% off. So I actually got it for $1.60. No, yeah, 40 cents off. So $1.60. Tiamat. It is Wild Honey and Gia, which is a EP all together. And then the last three things that I got, because I'm still on the Testament thing, I picked up the New Testament. I'm thinking it's pretty good so far. I don't like a lot of the lyrics. I just think they're kind of eh. The music is pretty good. I just feel that Steve is not being let loose. He should be playing way crazier fretless bass parts, or fretless bass, period. Gene, let's hear Gene Hoglan again. You know, I want the crazy Gene Hoglan from Individual Thought Patterns and shit. So, I mean, it's good, but it's too Testament for having those two guys. Catatonia, City Burials. I found a new great place on the internet, on eBay, called Mad Rush Media, and they have free shipping on stuff. I ordered this on, I think it was Tuesday, and it got to me Friday, the day it came out. So that was super awesome. I got the 11-track version. I didn't get the extra one because that was an extra $5 for a cover song and another original song. And I have a feeling that that extra song was probably just garbage anyway, or just there's a reason it wasn't on the actual album. So also tonight, my wife and I, we do a show on Facebook where we actually listen to albums that we're not familiar with or not hugely familiar with. Sometimes it's she's just not familiar, or sometimes our listeners, our viewers aren't. And the Facebook group is called The Rock Block, and in parentheses it says, AKA, why haven't I listened to this album? I have refrained from listening to this other than hearing those two, the two videos, and I haven't even listened to the second song all the way through. I just listened to the first song, decided after listening to the new Leprous that I was actually glad Catatonia were kind of going into a different direction again. And so I'm really excited. The Rock Block tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. You can join the group. It's a public group. It's basically just me and my wife talking to family and friends about albums that we aren't familiar with. So tonight is going to be this one. And then the last CD that I got, I almost got the cooler version of this, which has artwork more along this line with like the tray and stuff. This is just Digipack. That's kind of like the 2-panel that folds out, which is all right. I already tore it because I was trying to show Greg, the guy I do music with, this. So Sunless are from Minnesota, and they are very reminiscent of Gorguts. So very discordant kind of death metal, kind of technical death metal. And I do like this artwork. I like the simpleness of this artwork. I just don't like the fact that you can rip it if you aren't careful. And these ones where you have to pull the CD out, I would much rather have it be like this Catatonia or this Testament where you have the tray that goes in there. So you're not risking breaking or ripping that. So this was one of the last 35 copies that this band have of this. And they are working on a new album, and their new drummer is even better than their old drummer. And so if you're a fan of Gorguts, give it a listen. And remember, tonight at 9 o'clock. Every night at 9 o'clock, we pick a new album or a different album to listen to. We actually have audio on those. It gets blocked, but we post muted. So if you don't see it when it's live, we will post it, but half the time it gets muted. So I'll just hit post muted and it'll maybe mute like a minute or so. So the Rock Block, aka Why Haven't I Listened to This Album Yet? And I hope you guys are all staying safe and having a good old time being at home and not shopping. Although I've done a heck of a job spending money, but I don't spend it on anything else. So, oh well. All right, have a good one. Good to be back. I might do some more videos, but every night doing the Rock Block video kind of keeps me busy, and then I don't want to come down here and talk about music, but I decided today was the day to organize all this bullshit, and yeah. So have a good night.